Nobody goes broke on the big stuff. You agonize over the car. You read 40 reviews on a mattress. You FaceTime your dad about a furnace like he's mission control at NASA. The big purchases, you're careful, you research, you compare, you sleep on it. You treat those decisions with the seriousness they deserve. And that's exactly why they're not the problem. It's the little ones that are robbing you blind, and you don't even feel the hand in your pocket. They're too small to trigger the part of your brain that stops and thinks. They slip right past you. A few bucks here, a few bucks there, 100 times a month, every single month for the rest of your life. Case in point, the $7 phone charger. Worked for 11 days, then started charging your phone at the speed of a sloth doing taxes. So you bought another. And another. You now own a small museum of dead chargers. And meanwhile, the version of you who bought one good charger and invested the difference is on a beach in Portugal with a margarita, living the dream you keep scrolling past at midnight. That guy made one good decision. You made 11 bad ones and called it saving money. The tragedy isn't the $7 charger. The tragedy is what that money could have become by retirement. So that's what we're fixing today. How the cheapest stuff you buy is quietly strangling your retirement, why your brain falls for it every single time, and exactly how to stop the bleeding for good. Let's get into it. 1. Buy cheap, buy twice. This is the classic, buying cheap stuff that breaks so you buy it again. There's an old saying, buy cheap, buy twice. And honestly, that's optimistic. For most of us, it's buy cheap, buy 4 times, get frustrated, finally buy the expensive one, and then realize you spent more than if you just bought the good one in January. Picture the umbrella. You know the one, the $4 umbrella from the gas station. The first gust of wind hits it, and it just surrenders, turns inside out, snaps a rib, and now you're holding what is technically a metal flower while getting rained on directly. You throw it out, you buy another $4 umbrella, because clearly the problem was that specific umbrella, not the entire concept of a $4 umbrella. Do this with everything: shoes, kitchen knives, headphones, the phone case that protects your phone for exactly 0 falls. And you are running a business that exists solely to lose money. You are the world's least successful subscription service, and the only subscriber is you. Here's the math your brain refuses to do. The good knife costs $80. The bad knife costs $15 because you replace it every year because it has the cutting power of an enthusiastic spoon. Over 10 years, the cheap knife costs you $150 and a lot of bruised tomatoes. The good knife cost $80 and is still going to be there when you're 70, intimidating your grandchildren. You didn't save $65. You spent an extra $70 to be worse off. That's not a deal. That's a hostage situation where you're paying the ransom in installments. 2. The convenience tax. This is every time you pay extra simply because doing the slightly less convenient thing felt like too much effort at that exact moment. The single-serving anything. You ever buy a single roll of paper towels for like $3 at a convenience store because you ran out when a giant 12-pack at the warehouse store is basically the same price? That's the convenience tax. You paid a premium to not own paper towels in advance. Same energy, the snack at the airport. They know you're trapped. You know you're trapped. You'd pay $11 for a banana wrapped in a tiny napkin because the alternative is gnawing on your boarding pass. The airport vendor and you have an understanding, and that understanding is that they win. Same energy, the delivery fee, plus the service fee, plus the small order fee, plus the we noticed you're hungry fee, plus the tip. Also, a burrito can travel 4 blocks and arrive somehow colder than physics should allow. And look, I'm not the fun police. Convenience is sometimes worth it. If you're slammed, if you're sick, if you genuinely value the time, pay for it. That's a real trade. I do it too. The problem is when convenience stops being a choice and becomes a reflex. When you pay the lazy premium on autopilot 15 times a week and you've never once felt the sting because each individual sting is so small. That's not buying convenience. That's just hemorrhaging money while telling yourself a story about how busy you are. The subscription graveyard. Somewhere on your credit card statement right now, there's a charge you do not recognize. It's small, like $4.99, and every month it shows up like an X who just refuses to read the room. You have no memory of signing up, you have no idea what it does, but you can't cancel it because what if it's important? What if it's the thing keeping your photos alive? What if it is your photos? And so you pay. every month in tribute to a service you're scared of like it's a tiny digital mob boss. This is the trap of micro-subscriptions. Each one is engineered to be just below the threshold where your brain bothers to care. $5 here, $3 there, a free trial you forgot to cancel that's been quietly billing you since an administration ago. I once helped a buddy go through his statements, and he was paying for 3 different cloud storage services. 3! He's not storing the Library of Alexandria. He's got like 40 photos and a video of his dog sneezing. He was paying enterprise-level storage costs to protect a single dog sneeze, which, to be fair, was a quality sneeze, but still. Add up all the little subscriptions, the streaming you don't watch, the app you used once, the premium version of a thing whose free version was completely fine, and the average person is quietly leaking real money every single month into services they've emotionally divorced but never legally separated from. The it's on sale brain glitch. Okay, this one is less about the stuff and more about the software running in your head, because your brain has a bug, a glitch in the matrix, and marketers have known about it for about 100 years. The glitch is this. We treat money saved and money spent like they're the same thing. They are not. Here's how the scam works on you. You see a jacket, it's $120, marked down to $60, and your brain goes, wow, I just saved $60, and you feel like you walked out of that store richer. But you didn't save $60, you spent $60 on a jacket you weren't looking for, didn't need, and won't wear because it turns out it's the kind of green that looks great in the store and like a traffic cone in daylight. Saving money on something you weren't going to buy is not saving money. It's spending money with extra steps and a free shot of dopamine. The store didn't do you a favor. They figured out that the word sale turns off the part of your brain that asks, do I want this? And turns on the part that just wants to win. And the discount stores have perfected this into an art form. You walk into one of those everything's cheap warehouse situations for one thing. You leave with a kayak, a bulk pack of socks, a lamp shaped like a cactus, and a deep, unshakable certainty that you saved money. You did not save money. You bought a cactus lamp. There is no version of your life that needed a cactus lamp. But the price tag whispered win, and your wallet said say less. The fix here isn't to never buy things on sale. Sales are real and good things go on sale. The fix is to flip the question. Don't ask how much am I saving. Ask would I buy this at this price if it were never on sale and there was no clock ticking. If the answer is no, congratulations, you just outthought a multi-billion-dollar marketing department. Frame that. The Fee Leeches. Let's talk about the purchases you don't even know you're making, because some of your money isn't being spent, it's being skimmed. I call these the Fee Leeches, little charges that attach themselves to your financial bloodstream and feed quietly while you go about your day. The overdraft fee, where the bank charges you $35 as punishment for the crime of not having enough money, which, and I want to be clear, is the exact problem the $35 makes worse. The out-of-network ATM fee, where you pay $3 to access your own money, and then your bank charges you another $3 for the audacity of wanting it. You're being taxed twice to be handed cash you already own. It's like paying a cover charge to get into your own house. The minimum payment trap on a credit card, where you pay just a little each month and the interest eats you alive so slowly you don't notice you're the meal. These fees are designed to be small enough to shrug at, and individually they are, but they're recurring, they compound, and worst of all, they're completely avoidable. Nobody is forcing you to pay a fee leech. They thrive purely on inattention. The second you actually look at them, most of them die instantly. They're like financial vampires, except instead of garlic and sunlight, the thing that kills them is you reading your statement for 10 minutes.
This is the thing almost nobody internalizes about being broke from small purchases. $1 you spend isn't worth $1. $1 you invest and leave alone for 30 years is worth a whole lot more than $1 because of the most boring superpower in the universe, compound growth. Here's a number to sit with. Let's say all your little leaks add up to, conservatively, $10 a day. The chargers, the snacks, the subscriptions, the fees, the cactus lamp amortized over its useless lifespan. $10. That feels like nothing. That feels like rounding error. $10 a day is about $300 a month. And if you invested $300 a month into a basic, boring, low-cost index fund, earning a historically average return, over 30 years that turns into somewhere in the ballpark of $300,000. Some napkin math, not financial advice. Your mileage will vary, but the order of magnitude is real. That's not a nicer retirement. That's the difference between working until you physically can't and retiring with breathing room. That's the gap between I have to ask my kids for help and I'm taking the grandkids to Disney World and being insufferable about it. You didn't lose $10 a day. You lost the future version of those dollars, the grown-up dollars, the dollars that go to college and get a good job and take care of you when you're old. You spent them as babies on a charger that lasted 11 days. That's the real cost, not the price tag, the potential. Okay, Maddie, so what do I do? Fair. I'm not going to leave you sad and clutching your cactus lamp. Here's the playbook. 1. Spend more on the things you use every day and less on the things you don't. This is the single best filter I know. The stuff you touch daily, your shoes, your mattress, the chair you sit in for 9 hours, the tools you actually use, buy those well. Buy them once. That's not splurging, that's math. The stuff you use twice a year, borrow it, rent it, or buy the cheap one, who cares? Quality where it counts, cheap where it doesn't. Stop having it backwards. 2. Make the small leaks visible. The reason this stuff works is that it's invisible, so make it visible. Once a month, look at your statement like you're a detective and your money is the victim. You will find a culprit. You always find a culprit. Canceled one thing. Just one. Build the muscle. 3. Add friction to impulse buys and remove friction for saving. Your brain is impulsive, so stop fighting it and outsmart it instead. Take your saved card numbers out of the browser so buying takes effort, and automate your investing so it happens the second your paycheck lands before your impulsive brain even sees the money. Make spending hard and saving automatic. Right now, most people have it perfectly, tragically reversed. 4. Use the future dollar test. Before a dumb little purchase, don't think about the price. Think about what that money becomes if you don't spend it. Is this thing better than a slice of your future freedom? Sometimes, genuinely, yes. A good meal with people you love beats an abstract spreadsheet. Buy that. But the 9th charger, the cactus lamp, the subscription you're scared of, those don't pass the test. And now you'll feel it. 5. Don't get weird about it, because here's where people overcorrect. They watch a video like this and become the person who reuses a paper towel for a week and won't split an appetizer. Don't. The goal is not to never enjoy anything. The goal is to stop bleeding money on stuff you don't even like so you have more for the stuff you actually love. That's the whole game. It was never about spending less. It was about spending on purpose. Here's what I want you to walk away with. You don't have a money problem. You have 1,000 tiny decisions you've never actually looked at. And the second you start looking, you get the power back. That's the whole thing. Awareness is the entire game. So don't try to fix everything tonight. That's how people burn out and quit by Thursday. Just find one leak, one subscription, one habit, one it's only a few bucks reflex, and shut it off this week. Then next week, find another. Small, boring, repeatable. That's not just how you fix your spending. That's how every single person who's ever built real wealth actually did it. Quietly, one unglamorous decision at a time. Because the truth is, nobody's coming to save your retirement. No raise is big enough to outrun a leaky bucket, and no windfall survives habits that drain it faster than it fills. The bucket is the thing. Patch the bucket and suddenly every dollar you earn finally starts to stick. You've got everything you need to start. You just had to see it. So go plug a leak. Then come tell me about it. Drop the dumbest thing you've ever wasted money on in the comments, because trust me, we've all got one, and reading yours is my favorite part of the week. Hit subscribe so the next one finds you, and I'll catch you there.